What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Joe Scott in the building, here to drop a little truth on y'all. But first things first, go hit the little yellow button in the corner right there. Subscribe to my channel, Fundimensional. Hit that like button a couple times if you will. And post in the comment section about how sexy I look in this beanie. And don't kid yourself, because you know it's true. You know what I'm talking about, yeah. Alright, quit with the malarkey. Joke time is over, okay? It's time for some truth. It's time for you guys to wake up out of your little dreamland that you like to call reality. I know what you guys are thinking. We're in a three-dimensional world, height, width, length, and the fourth dimension is time. Really? No. There are many more dimensions before you can even start to think about time. Trust me, I know this. I've always known this, and the leaders of the next dimension must have known that I know this, which is why they shared this information with me, and that's why I'm sharing this information with you. And I know what you're thinking. What is this information you're talking about? Oh, I'm glad you asked. It all started yesterday in a bed, this bed right here. I wake up in the morning just like every other morning. Get the dust out of my eyes, the sun rays in my face, I have to pee. So, I go towards my bedroom door, open it, and as I look through the hallway into the bathroom, I see this giant floating orb. That was not here yesterday. So, I go to investigate, and I noticed something. I noticed two things. First, I noticed that as I'm getting closer to this orb or sphere, whatever you want to call it, it must be getting farther away from me because it's getting smaller and smaller. You would think that if it's staying there, it's going to take up more perceptual space until it's all I can see, but it's not. It seems like it's going away from me. But as I look at the shadow underneath it, it's still clearly in the exact same spot. So it must be shrinking, which is weird, right? It's just shrinking right there in front of me. Also, I'm noticing that as I'm getting closer and it's shrinking, the original shape that it held is being maintained by this see-through translucent orb that I can still see and even go through, because as I get so close to where I'm this close to the ball, the orb is now around me. I'm this close to the ball with the outside orb around me, and I think to myself, I whisper, I go, what is this? And then I just hear, I'm a hypersphere. Like, Wah! And I run out the bathroom, I go to the back of the room, and I'm sitting with the back against the wall, and I'm looking at that orb, and I'm thinking, all right, if that orb makes a move for it, you can have all my stuff. I'm dropping out of college. I'm out. I'm gone. You ain't never gonna see me again. I'm gone, people. No more history, math, none of that. Peace, deuces, okay? So I'm looking at it, and you must listen, I promise you, in the blinking of an eye, it was in the back of the bathroom, and then boom, right in my face, right in my face. I was like, ah! It was like, shh. So I was like, shh. What's going on? She says, don't be afraid. I say, don't be afraid. You're a walking, floating orb that I just witnessed break the space-time continuum. Don't tell me not to be afraid. She says, first of all, I didn't break the space-time continuum because I'm still in accordance with time. It's your silly little concept of space that I can manipulate. I say, oh, really? She says, yes, really. I say, do go on. She says, let me assure you that I just traveled through every point in space in between your bathroom and up to your face. You just couldn't see the shape that I became in the meantime. I say, became? She says, yes, became. I say, what do you mean became? She says, well, didn't you just see me shrink and expand? I said, yeah, I did see that. That was kind of weird. She said, well, just like how in a three-dimensional world, you can expand and contract two-dimensional shapes. In a four-dimensional world, you can contract and expand three-dimensional shapes. And what you just saw was me contracting that three-dimensional shape, only in your three-dimensional world, you can't perceive the in-between. You just see the beginning and the end. So for all I know, she could have went all around my apartment and then to my face. I just couldn't see that. All I see is the beginning and the end. So I'm thinking, okay, so what shape are you then, really, if you can become anything? She said, well, to understand what shape I am, you must understand my dimensions of my world. And I say, well, explain it to me. Well, she says, you're a smart guy. We know you're a smart guy. That's why we picked you. I'll explain it to you using the method of analogy. So, you know that a dot has one extreme endpoint. A line has two extreme endpoints. A square doubles that to make 4 extreme endpoints. And a cube doubles that to make 8 extreme endpoints. So that's up to your three-dimensional world. Now in my four-dimensional world, what do you think happens? I go, 16 extreme endpoints? She goes, ding, 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 ding. You're right. Luckily, I explained it to you using a square because a circle would have exploded your silly little three-dimensional brain. I said, probably, because I'm still kind of confused. And she says, well, if you would like to learn even more, I can take you to my four-dimensional world. Would you like that? I go, hell yeah, I'd like that. I'm like, Neo, man, give me the red pill. I want to see how deep the rabbit hole goes. Gimme, gimme, gimme. She says, okay. So she takes my hand. I don't know how she takes my hand because she's a sphere and doesn't have hands. But she takes my hand and takes me through the mirror. Through the mirror, like this is Narnia or some shit. She takes me through the mirror into her four-dimensional world. That's how you get there, like the movies. And when I get there, things are starting to make a little bit more sense now. I'm seeing this, how people can become these other shapes. There's like a trail behind them. Kind of like in Tron, how when they're in the motorcycles, but it's not just an arbitrary line that's behind them. It's the actual shape that they are. To give you kind of what I saw, I'm going to show you Exhibit A from the legendary Earth, Wind, and Fire's video, Let's Groove Tonight. It looked kind of like this. You see how they have that trail? Yeah. Yeah. Now, I assure you, the four-dimensional world wasn't this groovy, but it did look something like that, even smoother, though. Now, I also noticed that in this four-dimensional world, there was no orb that I had seen around this ball when I was up close and afar, even though the perception of it didn't change, just like in my three-dimensional world. And the reason that is because in the three-dimensional world, the actual solid ball wasn't what was really there. It was only how I perceived it. The orb that was translucent is what it actually was. And in the four-dimensional world, she can manipulate the space in her and around her so that all I can see is the perception. And what she really is, and the perception of her, is the same thing. It's some real heavy stuff. I can't really explain it to you any further. I mean, you have to go there or just have to think about it in your mind of how that can be. But, I mean, that's all I have to say, really. You just got to believe me. You know, Joe Scott. Subscribe to my channel. You know what I'm saying? Hit the comment section up. You know what I'm saying? Sexy Beanie Guy. That's what you can call me if you like. And this was brought to you by Crave Double Chocolate Cereal. It's really good. It's what gets me through the nights, guys. And just eat it. Eat it.